He shuffled slowly into the plane, dressed in an old cardigan and worn shoes, clutching a faded boarding pass in his shaky hands. Passengers barely noticed him, but the flight attendant's eyes narrowed as she saw him settle into a plush first-class seat. "Sir, you're in the wrong section," she said with irritation. "First class is for premium passengers." Moments later, she loudly demanded he move to the back. But the plane went silent when the captain rushed out and paled at the sight of the older man. No one expected the quiet older man to be the airline's founder. Keep watching, don't miss the end. John Whitaker had built Wit Air 5 decades ago, with nothing but a blueprint, a borrowed loan, and a dream of making air travel affordable and dignified. Now in his twilight years, he had long stepped away from the public spotlight, leaving the company to corporate suits and PR agents who had never met him. Wait a second, and tell us where you're watching from in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. On this particular day, John decided to fly for the first time in years, to see what had become of his beloved airline. He booked his ticket through an agent who offered him first class, complimentary as a courtesy to a legend. But the name John Whitaker no longer rang any bells among staff who had never heard of him. Just an old man with an ordinary name. He boarded without fanfare, hoping to enjoy the flight like any regular traveler in quiet reflection. But that quiet was short-lived. The flight attendant, Heather, spotted him taking his seat. Her eyes flicked to his clothes, then to his weathered hands fumbling with the seatbelt. She immediately assumed he had wandered into the wrong cabin. "Sir," she said sharply, "this is first class. You may need to check your boarding pass again." John smiled softly and showed her the pass. "It says 2A, doesn't it?" he asked with a slight chuckle. Heather narrowed her eyes. "We've had issues before. I'm going to need to verify this." Passengers around began whispering. Some snickered. Others looked away, embarrassed for the man. When she returned, she didn't just ask. She ordered, "Sir, you need to move to the back, right now. You clearly don't belong in this section." John looked around. No one was standing up for him. Just silence and eyes avoiding his. He started to gather his coat slowly, dignity in every movement, until a booming voice came over the intercom. "Captain Reynolds here. Please hold boarding. I need to speak with a passenger." A few seconds later, the cabin door opened and the mid-40s captain rushed down the aisle. He stopped in front of the older man, eyes wide in disbelief. "Mr. Whitaker?" he said, stunned. "Is that really you?" John looked up with a knowing smile. "Hello, David. I trained your father when he joined this airline. You've grown." Heather froze. Murmurs swelled through the cabin. "Ladies and gentlemen," the captain said, facing the passengers, "this man isn't just a passenger. He is the reason this airline exists. John Whitaker is our founder, the man who built Wit Air with his bare hands and heart." Gasps filled the UAV cabin. The very passengers who judged him were now shifting uncomfortably. Heather's face turned pale. I didn't know. I'm so sorry, sir." John gently sat back down. "Maybe next time don't judge by what you see. Respect should never be a class-based service." The rest of the flight was silent, but reverent. No one dared speak a word out of turn. John was treated with the kind of respect he hadn't asked for, but deeply deserved. When they landed, the ground crew was waiting. So were news reporters. Word had spread. The airline's PR team issued a public apology. Heather was suspended for training and reflection. The board of directors invited John to deliver a keynote address at the company's 50th anniversary celebration. But John declined with grace. "I didn't build this airline to be honored. I built it so no one, no matter their age, race, or income, would feel small. That flight became a legend. A viral story, yes, but more than that, it became a lesson in humility. As one young passenger wrote in a blog post later, the richest man on that flight wore no suit, carried no briefcase, just quiet pride and the history of flight in his eyes. If you enjoyed this story and found it thought-provoking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful narratives. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Take care.